Well, it wouldn't be a show or it wouldn't be a complete day if I didn't have you in it. So since I've been here every night for the last 4 nights, I figured we really have to stop meeting like this. Seriously. So what's been on? Didn't I come on last night and tell you that my camera was freezing up and it was a very worrisome thing? Well, today, June 13th, Panasonic released a new firmware for the S5 Mark II. They didn't mention anything about freezing, but they didn't mention anything else either. Okay, but now we are up to firmware 2.0. We're on firmware 2.0 now. Okay, so that's what we got going. So I downloaded the firmware from the Panasonic site. Just put Lumix S5 Mark II firmware. You'll go to the site, you'll click on where it says downloads, and then eventually you get to the page and it'll show you what firmware updates are available. So if you actually have the S5 Mark II or the S5 Mark II X, okay, there's firmwares for both of those. So I'm hoping that fixed whatever it is that happened. It has not happened since. So I'm not quite sure what to blame, where to look. I just don't want to have the camera where after 30 days I can't return it. So I'm paying extra special attention. So that's why I went live last night, okay? Because the camera froze up and I needed to see if it was going to freeze up while I was live on the air with you, okay? And it didn't. And I've been using it on and off all day today. We had meetings all day today because of the court stuff that's going on. It's coming up to a head, and we're getting into it. So I spent a lot of time with meetings. You know, you have more than one kind of meeting with that stuff. You have a meeting with your attorney, then you got to have a meeting with your brothers. So I have a meeting with my brothers to talk about what we talked about with the attorney. Then we go back and we talk with the attorney about what I talked about with my brothers. So, all right. So we are now operating on firmware 2.0. All right. So that's the good news. And let me turn on the chat so I could see what we've got going on in here. We've got, oh, we got Scotty that says, hello, Brother Peter. Okay, this church session is now in session, and tonight we are going to sing Christmas carols. There we go. Happy Christmas to you. Happy Christmas to you. Happy Christmas, dear everybody here. Happy Christmas to you. The doctor is in the house. There he is. Orlando News is now broadcasting live, probably from one of the parks up in that area. Okay, so that makes it kind of interesting. So Scotty is here. The FV setting on the R6 is cool. It is the best thing since sliced bread. The more you use it, the more you don't want to use any other setting, okay? So you're not heavy into video, all right? But I found out in using that particular camera, the R6, I will go to the dial on the top where it's got the movie thing, and I will use that for the Christmas room. But when I'm not in the Christmas room, I take it off that dial. And I go to one of the other settings, and guess which one I go to? I go to FV mode. And all you got to do is, with the little secrets that I taught you guys, is use it. You want to tap on the shutter speed, and then it'll show you. Use the little dial in the back or the one in the front. It has a picture there. And you use that to go into what you want. And then if you go like, oh, I want the automatic setting, just hit the trash can and you'll get a white bar in that little box on the bottom corner where the shutter is. Let's get in the right spot there. Okay, right down here. Okay. and you'll be in auto. So you could just look right across it. When you see a white bar, you know that feature of the camera is set to automatic. Automatic. Yeah, there is a mic here. I was talking to the mic. It was just me and the mic were having a little conversation. So I did talk with my colorist specialist that colors better than anybody on the planet, and he said, Peter, stop fighting with the Nikon Z6 and then trying to get it to look the same as the S52, which is this, what this is, S5 Mark II. He says, let each camera be itself. Just make each camera the best that it can be. So I did that. I went and today I reset the colors on the camera. So now what we're looking at when we get around to the S52, this is the settings for the S52, okay? On the contrast, I went from -2 and now it's flat. It's 0. So this is kind of like straight out of the box. But I did do a little bit of tweaking here and there, okay? And I'll tell you exactly where the tweak was. Not not Twitter, not a tweet, a tweak. I have to spell around here, okay? So I reset and I went back to the natural setting. So contrast is now 0. Highlight is now 0. Shadows is now, you got it, 0. Saturation is at +1. I want a little bit more saturation. Okay, hue, not me, you, is at 0. Sharpness is down at -3 because it's too sharp. Okay, I can see all the pimples and the old age marks, and yet I can still see the strands of hair. This camera is freaking sharp, okay? And ISO is now at 640, and the f85 lens, which is up in that corner, see what that is? No, the wrong camera. When we get back to the S52, all right, we got the 85 millimeter, 1.8, and I actually moved it to f2.0. Oh my God, you mean you're not down at f1.8? Well, I needed to lower down, I needed to lower down the brightness. And if I changed the ISO, it was way too much. So I tried to figure out how can I change the brightness on this camera and not, get and interfere to the point where it's not good anymore. Okay? Well, it's very easy. Go up a third of a stop. And one and done. So wait, I needed to move this a little bit. It's in the wrong spot. There we go. Okay, now we're in the right spot. All right, so this camera is now being itself. I even talked to Woody on the phone today. Oh, speaking of Woody, here he is. Woody is. Oh, well, first, Scotty was saying that the FV setting on the R6, it's a miraculous thing. I mean, every camera. I wish it was on this Panasonic. I wish, like I was ending the show, it was on this Panasonic, okay? But it's not. So Scotty gets to have it. I don't have it, okay? So Orlando, Charles says, good idea. Run the daylights out of the R5 to make sure wait, the Orlando. Why did it freeze up? I don't know. That's, if I knew I could solve it, I could say, oh, it's broke. Better change the camera. But it's ironic that they came out with a firmware so quickly. So I got a feeling I will not see any more freezing. And if I do, guess who's going to be the first one to know about it? It's going to be you. That's right. I'm going to get on here. I'm going to turn on all the switches. I'm going to get on live and say, that camera is freezing up again. It is doing that again. Okay. So now Scotty says, good idea. Run the daylights out of the S52 to make sure it's a bug. Oh, it's bug free. I didn't see the other line. Okay. It dropped down to one more. So that's what Scotty says. And speaking of Woody, I don't know where Woody is. Oh, there he is. I spoke with Woody on the phone today. He's doing very well. He's got a southern accent. Carly is doing well. Luke is doing fabulous. Luke just graduated high school. Hi, Luke. How you doing, big boy? I am so proud of you, Luke. On the baseball team, the football team, the basketball team, the wrestling team, the soccer team. None of that's true, okay? But he is on the baseball team, and he might be on another team. And what a good-looking kid, okay? Wonderful when you have grandkids that are just drop-dead gorgeous. Now, you can't say that to him. He's a boy, okay? And he'll be going to college. Now, Carly is the granddaughter, so she's still at home, snug as a bug in a rug, okay? Safe and sound. Hello to the parents, okay? Hi, Amy and everybody else. So I did get to see one of Luke's graduation pictures. Came out beautiful. He's going to be a heartbreaker. He already is a heartbreaker. And he's a good kid, according to Woody. Good kid. Good kid. So Woody is saying, it looks really good now. Yes, finally, I get a good compliment. Because everybody is like, oh, it don't look so good. It just blah, 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 blah. So for it to look good, I reset everything. The camera is being itself. So this is what the camera looks like. I don't know how harsh my face looks. I will see when I get off here and I go lay down, and I'll watch it and see what it is. And then I'll decide. But from my point of view, this guy right here has a clarity slider. So that clarity slider is what's tripping me up, because the S52 doesn't have that. So I can get all my exposures down just the way it's supposed to be, and then just use the clarity slider and it smooths the face. So I've got here my exposures. I hope I have them set correctly. Okay. And now I go to make my face have that little bit of smoothness, and it's not there. But I think it's not looking too bad. Do I look really bad to you guys now? Do I look like where's my cane? Where is my cane? I'm 70 years old in a couple of months, okay? So that is what we've got. And we're running the new firmware, and things are going well. I did have a cousin of mine pass away today. She wasn't feeling good a few days ago, last Thursday. And then all of a sudden she got like no energy and seemed to be confused. Went to the emergency room. They put her in whatever, and they found that she was riddled with cancer. And today she passed away. Just 4 days in the hospital. A week ago, she was having dinner at the kitchen table. So that's a sad thing. So there's nothing that we could do. She's finished her life run here, and she's in heaven. Pray for the family, her husband. Pray for him for his faith to rise up and help deal with this, because they're having dinner, and things went downhill quickly. Took her to the emergency room, and today is what? Today is Tuesday. So we had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And she passed away 6:30 tonight. So God rest her soul. I just speak God's presence on her and her family in Jesus' name. So Scotty says, yes, both cameras look fantastic. Scotty, coming from you, that's pretty nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate that a lot, because I'm really fidgeting over here. And Woody set me straight. He said, let it go. Give it up. It is what it is. Well, he didn't use those words. But he was going like, stop stressing out. Well, I'm not stressing out. And then I talked to my friend today, who's a professional colorist. He said, Peters, you're going down the wrong track. Start from scratch and make the camera look as good as you can make it. And then each camera, is what I said last night, has its own characteristics. So you're looking at the Panasonic S5 Mark II. This is its own characteristics. It's sharper than the R6 that you got, Scotty. It's sharper than this guy here, which is the Z6, which responds to my hand. So if I wave to you, see my eyes are out of focus? Okay. Now, when we go back over here, I'll do the same thing, and you'll see that I don't think it's going to take you out of focus, okay? Because I think, well, I did the firmware update, so now I'm questioning. I better check that setting. Okay. So, Scott says, did you ever shoot photos with the clarity backed off on the R6, -2 or even more? Not when I'm shooting photos, unless I needed the photos in an emergency. But I would take the photos into Lightroom, which has a clarity slider. That's where I learned about it. The clarity slider works miracles. But on videos, which you don't do very many of, but on videos, the clarity slider is a very amazing thing. Honestly, it really is. So the R6 that you've got, she's got a clarity slider. Don't do that to me. I was fixing that frame. And it goes and it changes. So now I like it so my head is kind of near like that. Okay, I don't want more than 2 fingers on the top of my head. All right, that's my rule. You guys have your own rules because you've got your own cameras and you're able to actually just do things the way you want it. So Scotty says, no, Norm. Hey, Norm. So sorry to hear of your cousin's passing. Yeah, and that was a really fast. No one had a clue last week there was a problem. Okay. So from what I heard from her husband is her sister passed away 3 weeks ago. And she was like, maybe took it kind of hard. And they were thinking that's why she looked tired, acted tired. And then he said they were sitting and they were having dinner. And then all of a sudden, the recognition factor, the confusion factor set in. And he was going like, wait, this ain't right. Okay, and they're not old, okay? So he says within 20 minutes, it got worse and worse. Okay, that's it. We're going to the emergency room. Okay, so now I'm able to point to this camera and let's see if it loses focus. Nope, it doesn't lose focus. If I put my hand up in front of my eyes, it will. But if I drop it down here, it goes back to the focus, okay? So it did not reset that, all right? Good thing. Now this guy won't do that. If I point to you right there, it's going to change the focus or make a liar out of me, one of the two, okay? Oh, I have it slowed down so it doesn't respond super quick. So thank you, Norm, for your condolences. That is, it's something that your mind will do to you. It's like, gosh, just a week ago, I'm talking to her. My other cousin said I had lunch with her on Thursday. Okay. And how do you die so quickly? It's just unfathomable. Unfathomable. That's a word in there somewhere. Okay. So Scotty says, my condolences to your cousin. I'll pass that on to the family up there. And thank you for your condolences, Scott. So that's what we got going. So we have 11 people in here. Gosh, are any of you going to give me a thumbs up or anybody going to say hello? This is family, okay? Come on, say hello. Do reach out to me. I'm here for you, okay? Reach out to me. I'll be there. Da da la la da 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 da. Ba da ba da ba da ba bum bum. Dum. Okay, enough singing. I need to turn on my safety feature here so that we don't get bombarded by the bad people that are out there that want to harm YouTubers. Okay, so what I do to solve that, at least until they figure it out, okay, is I will go and turn on so that you cannot post a comment unless you're a subscriber. And then it comes in, you have to be a subscriber for 10 minutes or whatever. So I take that out. So anybody that is a subscriber can comment immediately. That seems to have stopped the porn sites from coming in and bombarding me. Were you here when that was happening live? I was doing a show, and all of a sudden we had hot girls, whatever, click here. So everybody said, Peter. Okay, so, but since I turn on the fact that a person has to be a subscriber, but with no duration, meaning you could just subscribe right this second and make a comment. So until they figure that part out, that kind of stops them from bombarding me. Okay? So if they figure that out, okay, and they come in and they stop bombarding me, my second thing is to turn the slow mode on. Okay? So the slow mode will not allow anyone to comment faster than 60 seconds. So we've got all that as backups. So it is running very nicely. So Peter Gregg is here. Oh my God, Peter Gregg, the famous Peter Gregg is here. And you know what he says? The chat is now open. No mods tonight. We don't need a mods. I got a ban button for every single person. So if I see the bad guys come in that like to do the cussing and all that stuff, I'll just ban them. So now a person has to actually be a subscriber. So that is one of the filters that YouTube has added for me to use. So is it me, or does this camera look better tonight? Did they do something to make it look better in the firmware? I didn't update the firmware more than an hour and a half ago. So as soon as I saw that there was a firmware update, and I saw it by accident, I said, oh, I'll bet that they fixed why this camera was freezing up. So that's a good thing. So I'm saying welcome to everybody. And that's what we got going on. Cameras look good. I will play it back when I get off the phone. I'm going to give a call to one of my friends, my new son. I get sons, okay? They come from all over the place. I've got sons. I've got grandkids. I'm an uncle. Martin calls me Uncle Martin. He's in the UK on the other side of the puddle. Okay. So, not being married and not having kids, God has blessed me with kids from all over the place, of all kinds. I've got white kids, black kids, Asian kids. I have got kids with special needs. I have got kids that are gay. I've got kids that are like, if you say one thing out of a Bible scripture wrong, they're going to come. I mean, it's a full catastrophe, okay? But I love them all. And that's one of the secrets, is don't be judgmental, okay? Now, if they're going to kill somebody, I will say something like, don't you do that, okay? Or if I get a hint that there's a suicide in the making, no, I will dive in with both hands, okay? But other than that, I'm not judgmental with people. If they say something I don't like, I will gently say it, being kind all the time. So Scott says the S52 looks the best between the two. Scotty, you flipped on that. What's the winning lottery numbers for tonight, Scott? That's a flip-flop. Or are you just buttering me up? Are you kind of like kissing up now because you thought you hurt my feelings? Well, you don't have to kiss up. I'd like the truth, because if I could fix something, I'd like to. But I am trying real hard. You got to admit, I am trying really hard to get the S5 Mark II to actually be, Oh, Scott wants to have a second helping. all right, to be a nice looking camera. So I do have to admit the Nikon does good. But then when I stopped looking at the face and I looked at the exposure, my exposure on the S52 is actually a little bit better. And not only is the exposure better, but the sensor is giving me more, resolution. So it's actually sharper. And that's where my problem lies. It's a little bit too sharp. So I did dumb down the sharpness. What did I say? The sharpness is down to -3, okay? So that should dull down. But my hair, you can still see the strands on my hair. I don't know what you're watching on, okay? But you can still see the strands on my hair. So it's not like we're missing sharpness over here at this guy, all right? So let's go in here. Let's unlock this for one quick minute because it changes out of this camera just a little bit too fast. Oh, so let's move it up to how many seconds should we put on this camera? Okay, let's give it 49 seconds. All right, so there we go. All right, so now it'll stay on this camera a little bit longer because this is the main camera. I'd like it to stay here just a little bit. So Ray is here. How you doing, Ray? I just saw your video. I saw your video and I made a comment. I gave you a thumbs up. I gave you a big hug. I gave you a pat on the back. And now you're in here with me. I love you guys. I love everyone. I love Raymond. Can you do a split screen for us? Yeah, that's a good thing. I'd like to see that. I just got to find it. But yes, I would like to do a split screen. So here's the split screen. So that's good. Thank you for saying that, Scott. Now, when I watch this back, I can compare a lot better because I have the two cameras. Now, my colorist has told me, his name is Osvaldo, and a couple of other people have said it too. Woody was one of them. Woody said, you're stressing, okay? Stop stressing. Let the camera be itself. My colorist said each camera has its own characteristic. So I reset it and I got the best picture that I can come up with out of the S5 Mark II. And I've only had the camera 3 days, okay, where I'm using it 3 days. Is that it? So I might be able to tune it in even better. So this is what they look like side by side. And now you can compare yourself, okay? Now, I'm not trying to match them. So if you're going to say, oh, this one doesn't match, I'm not doing the matching. I have overstressed myself trying to do the matching. Right, Kyle? Okay. So let's go back. So I will have to hunt this down and I can compare it. So now we'll go back to here. And I want to actually raise this camera up. See, I want like 1 or 2 fingers between the top of the screen and my hair. So that's easy to move. You just watched me move it. So it's not that big of a deal to do. Okay. So, yeah, we got a few people in here. Raymond is in here. And who else is in here that didn't give me a hello? You can't be shy. We've been here so far together so many years now. To say that someone is shy now, it's like, holy moly, are you serious? You can't possibly be shy. So, let's see. Norm thinks he's got a little problem going on there because he sees 2 Peter Greggs and it gets him a little bit frustrated, you know. And I can understand at his age, you know, getting frustrated. I'm just teasing you, Norm. You know I love you, right? So, but it's a good comment. I like it. So, thanks for watching and commenting. Of course, that's how I get a little activity in there. Making a comment and giving a thumbs up. You got to feed that YouTube algorithm. All of you guys should know, if you got a YouTuber that you like, you know, the algorithm is waiting for people to prove that, yeah, we want to see them. And then they bump them up a little higher. Same thing with my links down below. You don't have to buy something to click on my link. God, if you have to buy something to click on my link, we'll be waiting here forever. Just let's say you want to see the comments on this camera. Just click the link and go read the comments at Adorama. And then go click the link and read the comments at B&H. That will do good for me right there. You don't have to buy anything. Now, if you're going to buy something, do click my link, even if it's not the item that you're going to buy. Click the link, linky dinky, okay? Click the linky dinky. Okay, now I have a new word. Click the linky dinky in the description. I need a rhyming thing for that. So, and then go buy whatever you want at that store. Okay, so let's say you want to buy a Canon or a Fuji. Let's say you want to buy a Fuji. Now, I don't have a link for a Fuji in there. All right, so how would you help? Just go to the store that you want to go to by clicking my link, and then anything you buy for the next, I think it's 12 hours or whatever the rating is for that individual store, they will credit it to me. So I'm not in a begging mode. I'm just sharing how this stuff works, because the more that I learn, the more that it gets interesting. So Amazon actually gave me a storefront, and I have to start filling it in. I'm not quite sure how, but I learned that I could do a video on a product. So let's say I want to do a video on a cup. I have nothing to grab around here. Okay, a video on, a video on this mouse, okay? Or I want to put a link, because this is the M557 Logitech mouse. So what I could do is I can make a video, and it has to be certain sizes. They give me the sizes. And I could put, so you could go over to, it's amazon.com/shop/PeterGreg. Very simple, okay? So I know people like Scotty can remember stuff like that. Other guys can't, okay? So I could start like making a real short video on this Lumix. I can make another one on that Nikon. And when they click on it, the thing to buy it is right there underneath that video. So you could go to amazon.com/shop/PeterGreg. There's nothing there right now, okay? But I could start making these little, those shorts that they talk about? I can make little short videos, okay? And put them up there. So you get, why do I like this? So I like to take a supplement called NAC, because NAC has been recommended by a few doctors that it gets the mucus up from down deep in your lungs, which is why they put you, when you get COVID or something, they put you in the lung machine, whatever it is, because you can't breathe. But the problem you can't breathe is because there's crap down there, okay? And your body is not getting rid of it. Well, this supplement has been around since the 90s, but the FDA said you can't apply it to the number 19 because we want you to take the shot. So we're not allowing anyone to talk about anything else. But some doctors are now telling you, even if you have a cold or if you have the flu, like my buddy up in Boston, excuse me, has the flu and he sounds terrible, but the congestion gets down into your lungs, okay? Well, you take NAC 600 milligrams twice a day, according to these doctors. I'm not a doctor, so I can't be telling you to take pills, okay? But I bought the bottle, and I'm fine. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. All right? So it basically is like a Mucinex turbocharged times 100. So the one doctor that convinced me to take that NAC supplement is a doctor that works at the emergency room, number one. And then number two, okay, he has a clinic and he will take COVID patients. So he did a video, how do I keep from getting number 19? Okay? how do I keep from getting it if I'm dealing with all these, sicky wikis that come in? Well, here's how I do it. And it's the standard. He went through the standard procedure. Vitamin D3, vitamins or supplement zinc, vitamin K2, oil of oregano. And then he said, I take 600 milligrams of this thing called NAC twice a day. So he takes 1,200 milligrams a day of the NAC. And he has been treating patients through the entire pandemic. Never caught anything. Okay? And now he's giving it to his patients. And that helps them to breathe so much quicker. So if you catch a cold, keep a bottle of this ding-dong stuff there. I don't even have a link, okay? So you can click on my camera link for Amazon. Go in the description and then go find NAC, which stands for something cysteine, all right? And it's a white bottle, and the logo is got a lot of orange in it. And it says 600 milligrams, and then it's got its little bigger brother that says 1,000 milligrams. Keep that on hand. If you get ill, start taking the damn stuff. I mean, take it now. I'm taking it now. I'm not sick. Okay? So, here's my Kyle. Me. I didn't say hi. Hi, by the way. Kyle, I love you, big guy. He's one of my new kids, and I love him. He's awesome. When I finish here, Kyle, I'm going to go to the phone, and I'm going to call you. I'm going to go to the potty first. So don't be sitting there with your hand on the phone, okay? I have to pee like everybody else, okay? So give me a chance to let it all out. So Ray says, I see a hashtag PetersKitchen in the description. Are you are going to bake something? I bake up a storm. I do actually under the video, I put that hashtag because YouTube will put my hashtags up to 3 right under the video, not in the description. So you'll see a hashtag Peter Gregg, hashtag what? PetersKitchen, and hashtag, I think, Sweet Sleep. Okay? So that's a feature that that YouTube is running that allows me to get people to, when you get somebody over here, you want to get them to watch some of your other videos. So I use that feature to do that. So, yeah, I've got a couple of videos lined up for the kitchen channel. It's just with the quartz stuff, and now, I need to get a loan on the house to pay the bad guy off, okay? So, we're working on that. Anybody have a rich uncle? I'll pay 6%, and I can pay back, or my other brother can, at $2,000 a month. So if you can cough up, $200,000-$300,000 and they want 6%, write to me. We'll take it. We'll take it. Okay. So anyway, that's what we're working on. And I've had meetings all day today. One loan company with another loan company, and it just goes on and on and on. Okay. So that is, that's what happens when you go through this stuff. So I need to close out this window. I got 6 thumbs up, so thank you guys. So I saw Kyle, I saw Ray, and I didn't see what Scott said. Did last night's comments match what you could see on your iPad? I can only watch at 1080 on my iPad. On my iPad, 1080 is fine, but I think I can go to 1440. So, yeah, a couple of people, who was it? The peasant. I forgot their name. Vasily, okay? That's the Greek version of his name. He said the same thing my colorist said. You're compressing the image too much, and that's why the Z6 looks so much better. And I was compressing the highlights, and I was compressing the shadows. And instead of this coming to life like it should, like what it does now, I can even see the difference myself. on just the TV monitor. Okay, so this one is not compressed because it's got the clarity slider, so I don't have to do compression there. I just do the clarity slider and it makes my skin smooth all by itself. Right? That's wonderful. Now, you don't get that on the other big boy over there, okay, because it doesn't come with a clarity slider. So what I did is I set it so everything is proper. I lowered the sharpening down to -3. So that makes it so it's not going to make all my bumps. Where am I? Over here. The red spots and my old age spots and all that stuff. It's not going to make them more contrasty because now it's a little smoothed out. But to show you how much sharper this camera is, look at the strands of my hair. They're just as sharp as could be. If I go like this and hold my hair up, you can see the strands of hair. See the one sticking out over here? Okay. Now, when you come over here to the other cameras, it's a little more dumbed down. So this new camera with the new technology, she's a sharp baby. She is a very sharp baby. Yes. So anyway, I haven't had any freezing. We have the new firmware 2.0. The real blessing on this is I'm not even using Panasonic lenses. I'm using Canon lenses on a Sigma adapter on this camera right here. So this camera right here, whereas this camera well, let's do it. Let's do it like I normally do it. It does catch my finger. It's right borderline, so I need to make that box a little higher. So I told it to sharpen just around my face. But if I put my finger in my face, maybe it's the movement, okay? Well, I'm not sure if it's doing it now or not. So anyway, I need to do it under my chin. So if I want to point, it needs to be under my chin when I point, okay? So we're running very nice. From what I could see right now, it looks good, and I concur with Scott and anybody else that is telling me that the image looks good. I concur with you. I think the image does look good. So thank you for putting up with me. So I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and now Tuesday, we have had a live show every night. So it's beginning to feel like the old days, okay? Where I had a live show at 11 o'clock every night. No, it started out by 12 or 1 in the morning. So I tried to catch the night owls and the people in Europe, okay? And then little by little, I slid it back from 1 to 12 and from 12 to 11 and then to 10, and I have stayed with the 10. Now, this is an impromptu Carlos kind of a show. Carlos just turns it on and off he goes. As a matter of fact, I haven't seen Carlos in a while. Carlos, everything okay if you're watching? You doing all right? So thank you, everybody, for your input. And this will be back on its processing routine. And if you've got something to say and you're watching now, just put it in the comments down below the video. I love comments, so thank you. Comments and clicking on my links, even if you're just being nosy. I got a little bit of nosiness to my character, so I like to see what these guys are talking about when they talk about these cameras, okay? So to me, the comments at Adorama, B&H, and Amazon are important. Plus, you have to sift the wheat, okay? If somebody doesn't like the fact that the camera's the wrong color, or it's, didn't come with 3 free lenses, so I give it 1 star, that's utter nonsense, okay? That's not even, armchair quarterbacking, so you ignore those comments. But when somebody says, I tried the Sigma adapter on my S5 and it worked excellent. Oh, that got my ears up. That's a comment that was helping to educate me, okay? So that my curiosity makes me go back over and over. So I'll click on my own links so I could get to that camera. so I could see any new comments. Did anybody write any new comments? So while I'm saying that, you write a comment here. Okay, you're watching this after the live portion. You're in the private portion, okay, because you're getting to watch this. Make a comment here after the show so people get to say hello. All right, I like the hellos. How you doing? Who's your daddy? Is he rich? Is he rich like me? Okay, so I think that about does it. We're under the hour. We're at 45 minutes, which is, it's perfect. People might come in to see. All right, so thank you for watching. God bless each and every one of you. Who knows? We don't know. Tomorrow night, that's going to be the question. Will Peter go live tomorrow night or not? I don't really know. Okay, it's kind of like a last minute thing. I might need a little break, okay, to be honest with you, because I'll be going live Friday. Today is Tuesday, so tomorrow will be Wednesday. So I'm not sure. It depends on what's going on. So now I'm going to go eat a little something, go to the potty, do a little something in there, and let's go out on the let's do the splits. Let's drive Norm crazy. There's two Peter Greggs. So now I'll know I could go all the way to the end of my show and I could see the split screen so I can make my comparison. All right, so that's just a handy feature for me. So thank you for everybody that's joined me tonight. You guys are lovely. I'm talking like a British person. You guys are cool and awesome dudes. Now that's an American. No, that's New York. It's like, you guys are great, eh? Okay, that's Canadian. All right, that's all I know. How about Miami, where I live? I don't even know how to do a Miami. I could do myself. All right. So I love you guys. Thank you for being here. I'll be calling Kyle in a little bit. Give him a little bit of attention and a hello. He might want to buy something. And hi to Kyle's mama. How you doing, mama? Good to see you. I recorded Perry Mason. Lewis just popped in. Hi, Lewis. It's the same thing, different night, okay? Just decided to go live. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you for the condolences for my cousin passing away 6:30 tonight, okay? So you can compare that to whatever time zone that you're in. And a week ago, she was eating dinner at the dinner table. So it's just crazy. So she went in and they did a CAT scan, is that what it's called? And her body was riddled with cancer, and it had really, really targeted the liver, okay? So once the liver starts to go, your body shuts down is what happens. And that's how that just in 3 days, who dies in 3 days? That's kind of like a shock. So, Roy, I was thinking about you. Someone has cloned Peter. Yeah, there's two Peters. Well, Roy, do you have two Peters? I have two Peters. They're both right there. Okay? Roy is laughing. Roy has the best sense of humor. He's very dry, but boy, when you latch onto him, you have latched onto a really awesome guy. All right, guys, we are going to go now. We are at almost 50 minutes, and the big bet on the field now is, will Peter be live tomorrow night or not? That, to be live or not to be live, that is the question. Now that we know the question, we'll have to wait to see what the answer is. All right, love you, be safe, be healthy, be loving, pray for me, I'm praying for you. Can I add anything else? No, so just say goodbye. Say goodbye, Peter. Goodbye, Peter. I have a good time with you guys. I really do. All right. Bye.